Rolling.
Hey, Lewis, welcome to my office. How do you like it?
Oh, it's amazing.
I know, right? My name's Adam again. I just, you meet tons of people at the dealership. I like to make sure you know who you're talking to. My roles, once again, are to ensure that all your paperwork's done correctly so the state is happy, to assemble all your financial options, and then work with you as a team to make sure that we get everything to a payment that you're happy with. Okay. Now, what I think we ought to do is work on title work first, because that's got to be perfect. It's because it's going to the state. I don't want to have to call you to come back in, and do paperwork while you can be out doing other stuff. And then I'll activate your warranties. So I'll just kind of explain warranties, get those all started for you, and then finally we'll talk about all those financial options, and we'll get them buttoned up, finish up the paperwork. Sound good? Mm-hmm. All right. So first, let's do some DMV title work. This is your title application. Mm-hmm. Sign there, please. This is your power of attorney for the vehicle. Sign there, please. This is your odometer statement. Sign there, please. Excellent. Now I need to go over your credit application just to make sure that all the information is accurate. I know Jeff got all this from me, but I just got to double check because I'm responsible for it. So over here, is this the correct amount of time you've been at your current address? Mm-hmm. Awesome. And how about that, your length of employment, is that right?
That's right.
Okay, and then your financial information is correct?
Correct.
Excellent. And then the government requires us to show you your credit score, your risk-based pricing, they call it. That's your score. This is how they determine that. Mm-hmm. Right? Just need you to sign down there if you don't have any questions. Mm-hmm. Excellent. Next, I just want to, do you have those papers that I left out there with you?
Oh yeah, the frequently asked?
Yeah, frequently asked questions. Here we go. Okay, so did you get a chance to look at this?
Yeah.
Awesome. There's a section I just kind of want to draw your attention to real quick, and that's under the ability to pay. What this is how the lenders decide how much maximum payment they're willing to allow you to have. Okay, and it's based on your income. So your monthly income is $6,000. They allow you to have 20% of your monthly income as a payment. So 20% of $6,000 is $1,200.
I don't know about that.
You're not going to have a $1,200 payment. I'm just letting you know what the lenders are thinking, so you're not worried about that.
Okay.
None of the options I have set up are anywhere near that, okay? So don't worry. Cool down. Okay, and then the warranty sheet. Did you get a chance to look at this?
Yeah, I believe 3 years, 36,000 miles, and I think I got some powertrain warranty too.
You do. You do. I'm going to go over this with you because it wasn't until I was in the car business for a year before I understood the warranty. So I'm going to make sure you know before you leave, right? So first you have a 12-month, 12,000 mile adjustment period. So anything's creaking and squeaking, hoses, belts, light bulbs, something goes wrong, you can bring it back and we'll fix it for you, okay? At the end of that, you pick up your comprehensive coverage for 36 months and 36,000 miles. That's all electrical and mechanical failures due to factory defect, all right? Beyond that, you have a 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain coverage. That is the cast iron, internally lubricated parts of your engine, transmission, and drive axles. They're all covered against factory default or factory failure, right? You also have a 5-year unlimited mile corrosion coverage for making sure nothing rusts through in the first 5 years. And then you also have an 8-year, 80,000 mile emission coverage, okay? Your effective warranty is a little bit different than what the factory warranty reads. You said you average about 15,000 miles a year, correct? Mm-hmm. So you're going to hit 12,000 miles in about 9 months. So your adjustment period is going to be more like that, right? Mm-hmm. Comprehensive coverage at 15,000 miles a year, you're going to hit that somewhere in the early, just after the 2-year mark, right? So that coverage is going to look a little more like that. And the same thing at your powertrain, it's going to be a little less, probably closer to 4 years-ish. Over here are the things that are not covered under factory warranty, okay? Your vehicle towing, for the first 36,000 miles, that will be. Beyond that, it's not covered. Substitute transportation, your rental car, so if your car's in the shop, that's not covered. Trip interruption, if you're out of town and you got to stay in a hotel or something, that's not covered. Tire and wheel replacement, they don't cover tires, they don't cover rims, none of that. Vehicle maintenance, you do have to keep up the maintenance to ensure that these warranties stay active, and that's on you to pay for. Key replacement, that $300 key that you got sitting next to you, that's on you if you lose it or break it. And then windshield repair and replacement if you chip a windshield. Down here are also your responsibilities, okay? Dents and dings, that's going to be on you if you don't like the, what happens to your car, you're going to have to pay to get that fixed. And then that gap protection. So if the insurance company's only giving you this and you owe this, you're going to be responsible for the difference, okay? It doesn't just go away. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Now, all of this is a lot of information. I know it can get a little overwhelming. Basically, what it's telling you is that you can buy 2 cars today. One of 2 cars. I'm not saying you're buying 2. The car that you already got, right, with the factory warranty that's going to be out in just in about 2.5 years, and the powertrain warranty is going to be out in about 4 years. Or the same color car, color, VIN number, equipment, but with a 60-month, 75,000-mile comprehensive coverage, okay? A powertrain, 60-month, 75,000-mile coverage, roadside assistance for towing, gas or fluid delivery, jump starts, flat tire, and lockout assistance. You also get rental reimbursement, trip interruption reimbursement. You get tire and wheel road hazard coverage. All your maintenance, all those tire rotations, oil changes will be covered. Your guaranteed asset protection, that gap that we were talking about between what the insurance company's giving you and what you get, that'll be covered. Replacing that $300 key will be covered. All the dents and dings to keep it looking good, that'll be covered. Your windshield chips and your cosmetic wheel repair, that's all covered, okay? So if the math made sense, which one of these 2 cars would you prefer to drive out of here today?
How far would be this one right here?
That one right there.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And I have assembled 4 great options to get you into that car, okay? If I could make a suggestion, I would, or make a recommendation, I would go with the executive. It has all of these items covered, okay? But it also includes a theft deterrent that makes it a lot less likely that your car is going to get stolen. It's going to make it much more likely that it'll get recovered if it is stolen. And if it is stolen, they can't recover it, you still got to drive something, right? Mm-hmm. They'll give you $2,500 as a down payment on your next car. Sound pretty good, right? Mm-hmm. So right here is your personal information, the VIN number. Mm-hmm. Here's the figures you agreed to, and there is your monthly payment, right? This is the executive package, got everything we just talked about. There's the payment. Should I set that up for you on the 14th or the 29th?
I like the 14th, but that payment's a little bit too high, brother.
So you're basically telling me you have an issue, you're a little uncomfortable with the monthly payment, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. It happens to a lot of my clients where they see the benefits, but there's a disconnect between the benefits and the monthly payment. Is that where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay, well, a lot of my clients, what they'll do in that situation is they will do a one-time cash investment of $1,500 to $2,000, unless you were thinking more like $2,500.
No, I wasn't thinking any money down, to be honest with you.
Well, how close to $2,500 could you get?
I don't have it. I don't have it.
No. I know this is kind of like thrown at you. You weren't expecting this. How much could you put down if you could put down any?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing down.
Okay, I understand that. You weren't expecting this. I'm sure Jeff sucked you dry out front. Give me just a minute. I do have an idea how I might be able to work on that monthly payment. Give me just a second. Okay, good news. So, same car, same protection, you get all this stuff, same package, executive, right? But instead of this payment, I can get you this payment, and all I did was extend that term 3 short months. Should I set that up on the 14th still?
It's a little bit out of my budget still.
It is, but we're moving in the right direction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. Let me share something with you that a lot of my customers find helpful, if that's all right. You know how I said you can leave here in 1 of 2 cars? You can leave here with 1 of 2 types of payments as well, okay? One is a fixed payment, and then one is a variable payment. Now there are positives and negatives to both of these, okay? The negative to the fixed payment is it seems a little high. It's $540, seems a little high, right? The positive is that you're transferring all of your risk to an outside insurance company instead of assuming that yourself. Okay. Now on the variable side, the positive is it seems lower. The negative is you assume the risk. I'll give you an example to kind of illustrate, right? So let's say, 3-4 months down the road, you've put your first 5,000 miles on the car. Now, factory recommends an oil change every 5,000 miles. You're buying a Maxima. That's the premium oil. That's a full synthetic. How much is that oil change, you think?
About 65.
About 65. Yeah, if you're lucky, you'll get out here in 65. So that's $65 charge. Okay, plus you got the 505 payment. So in that month, you pay $570, or $549, right? Let's go a year out, okay? You're on Market Street, there's jammed up in traffic, right? You know, Market is not the best road.
Yeah.
So you have vehicles on the right, you have vehicles on the left, vehicles coming up your rear end, and there's a 2x4 sitting in the middle of the road. You gonna swerve, drill the brakes, or hit the 2x4?
Right, hit the 2x4.
Yeah, you're gonna have to, otherwise you're gonna hurt other people, right?
Right.
Say that blows 2 tires and dents your rim, right? How much do 2 tires cost, you think?
It's probably about 300 a tire, so about $600.
600, okay. And then how much is a rim?
Shoot, a little bit more than that, probably roughly about 900 to 1,000.
Yeah, about $1,000 if you're lucky, man. You got the premium rims on that, if you forgot. So that's $1,600 that you're going to be paying. You also have 505 payment that you got to add into that, so that's what, $1,105 that month. Or you could just pay that $549 that we're talking about, right? One more example, one more quick one, all right? Say 3 years from now, you're outside your comprehensive coverage. You go outside, you get in your whip, you just try to fire it up. Nothing happens. Your first thought is battery, right? You gotta get it jumped. So you call your buddy, you call your wife, you call your whoever, have them come over, and they try to jump it. Still nothing. What do?
Call a tow truck.
Call a tow truck. How much is that gonna cost you?
$80.
$80 for a tow truck. You got to get them ticked to the dealership. They're going to have to run diagnostics on it. Let's say they come out with their clipboard and they're like, hey man, got good news and bad news. Which one you want first?
Good news.
Good news is I have the parts. I can have it fixed in 3 days. The bad news is your electronic control module, the brain of your car, is fried. And we're replacing that. How much do you think that'll cost you?
I'll say, what, 1,500?
1,500? Yeah, maybe. So now you're at 1,580. Now that's going to take them 3 days. You got to get to work, right? And work's not just going to be like, that's cool. So 3 days. That's how much do you think a rental car is going to be for 3 days?
Probably $50 a day, so about 150.
$150. All right. So we're at. I'm slow at math, sorry. So that month, that's $1,730 plus you get add in your 505 payment. So you're looking at about $2,235 in payment that month. Whereas with the fixed payment, you just pay $549. Now, based on that, can I get you set up with the executive package on the 14th, like you wanted?
Sounds good. I mean, I get where you're going with this, but still that payment's just a little bit too much for me.
A little bit too much for it. Well, that's why I included a few options on that menu, okay? So if you're willing to accept the risk of the theft deterrent system, that would be the standard package, and this is where your payment would be. Okay. Now, if you were willing to accept the rising prices that come with maintaining your vehicle, you could drop the Easy Care maintenance, and that would be the basic package, and that's where your payment would land. Which one of those three works best with your budget?
Whew, that basic is getting a lot closer to my budget. But still a little bit outside my budget.
Okay, well, out of these three items, the 60-month comprehensive coverage, the 60-month powertrain coverage, all the roadside assistance, all the rental reimbursements, trip interruption reimbursement, tire and wheel, all of that, between that, the gap that covers your total loss, or the Easy Care Select that covers your dent repair, your windshield repair, cosmetic wheel repair, all that kind of stuff. Of those three, which one are you more willing to accept a risk on?
Probably the Select Plus. I don't need that dent and ding and windshield stuff. I think I would be able to accept that.
Can I show you what the payment looks like with that out?
Yeah.
Give me just a second. All right, with just the Easy Care Vehicle Service Contract and the gap, this is where your payment lands. Can I get that set up for you on the 14th?
Yeah.
Sign there.